Give me 5 minutes, and I can predict your financial future for the rest of your life.
It's a bold opener, isn't it?
It's bordering on arrogant.
Yeah.
It sounds like a carnival barker or, a mentalist trick at a cheap magic show.
Right.
But that is the opening hook from Harv Eker in the book we're breaking down today, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And honestly, when I first read that, I wanted to roll my eyes.
I think most people do. But when you actually dig into it, you realize he's not claiming to be psychic. He's saying that finance isn't really about math.
It's about patterns.
It's about physics, almost. It's about patterns.
Right, and that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive. Because, let's be real, there are a million finance books out there telling you what to do.
Oh, absolutely. Buy low, sell high, cut out the avocado toast.
We know the mechanics. But Eker's whole point is that none of that mechanical stuff matters. Literally zero if your internal software is buggy.
That's the critical distinction. Most financial advice focuses on the fruit, the results.
Your bank account, your portfolio, your net worth.
Exactly. Eker flips it and says you have to focus on the roots, the invisible internal settings that produce the fruit. His argument is, if your money blueprint is set to struggle.
You could win the lottery tomorrow and you'd be broke again within 3 years.
Which we actually see happen constantly.
The statistics on lottery winners are genuinely depressing. It's something like 70% of them end up broke.
Because they try to change the fruit without changing the root. It's like pouring high-octane fuel into a broken engine.
So let's get into this money blueprint, because it sounds a bit abstract, maybe a little woo-woo for the hard-nosed investors listening.
It can, yeah. But the analogy he uses, the thermostat, that really grounds it for me.
It's the stickiest concept in the book.
It is. It's so simple but devastatingly accurate. Imagine a room is set to 72 degrees. That's your internal set point for wealth.
Okay.
Now, if it's winter and you leave a window open, the temperature drops to, say, 65. What happens?
The heater kicks on. Automatic.
You don't have to think about it. It just gets the room back to 72. That's survival mode. We scramble to get back to our baseline.
That makes sense.
But here's the part people miss, and this is where self-sabotage lives. What if it's a hot day and the room heats up to 80 degrees?
The AC kicks in to cool it back down.
Exactly. Eker argues we have a subconscious financial thermostat. If your set point is $50,000 a year and you suddenly have a great year and make $80,000,
your subconscious starts sweating. It feels wrong.
Mechanics. It feels entirely out of character. So, without realizing it, you sabotage yourself.
You pick a fight with your boss, or you make a risky investment that tanks.
Or suddenly your car needs a $5,000 repair. You will unconsciously drain those resources until you are back in your comfort zone, back at 72 degrees.
That's a terrifying thought, that we are actively fighting our own success just because it feels uncomfortable.
It explains why you see people who work incredibly hard, grinding 80 hours a week, but they never seem to break through a certain income ceiling.
They're fighting their own programming.
Yeah.
Running up a down escalator.
Precisely. And the reverse is true for the ultra-wealthy.
Yeah.
Look at someone like Donald Trump. And look, putting politics aside completely, just looking at the financial history.
Right.
The man has lost billions, gone bankrupt, and bounced back to billions. Why? Because his thermostat isn't set to millionaire.
So if he only has $1 million, he feels broke. His survival mechanism kicks in at a much higher number than mine does.
Exactly. His subconscious screams emergency until he's back at his set point.
So the mission of this deep dive isn't about budgeting tips. It's about figuring out where our dial is set and then physically moving the needle.
We have to rewrite the code.
Which begs the massive question. How did this software get installed in the first place?
I'm assuming we aren't born with a dollar sign stamped on our forehead.
No, we're born as blank slates. The blueprint is conditioned.
Yeah.
And Eker identifies 3 primary ways this happens in childhood.
Okay.
The first one is verbal programming. This is the stuff we heard at the dinner table. The greatest hits of parental anxiety.
Money doesn't grow on trees.
Rich people are greedy.
We can't afford that. Filthy rich.
Filthy rich. I always found that one interesting. Even the language associates wealth with dirt.
It's incredibly damaging. Think about the logic loop a child forms. I want to be a good person. Mom and dad say rich people are greedy. Therefore, if I get rich, I'll be bad.
So I must stay poor to be good.
And that's running in the background while you're 40 years old trying to build a business. You're hitting the gas and the brake at the same time.
Your subconscious will always choose identity over logic.
Always. The second influence is modeling. This is just monkey see, monkey do.
We just copy our parents.
Largely, yes. Were they spenders or savers? Did they take risks? But more importantly, was money a source of joy in the house, or was it a source of stress and panic?
I think for most people, it's the stress. Watching parents argue over bills, the tension in the room when the mail comes, that's a core memory for a lot of us.
And that creates a neural pathway. Money equals pain. So later in life, your subconscious tries to get rid of money to get rid of the pain.
Or you rebel. You see them pinching pennies and being miserable, so you become a reckless spender to prove you aren't them.
But you're still not free. You're just the opposite side of the same coin reacting to their pattern.
You're not driving your own car. And the third one,
Specific incidents. These are the emotional timestamps. He tells a story about a guy who, as a kid, asked his mom for ice cream money. She said, "I don't have it, go ask your dad."
okay, seems harmless enough.
You'd think, but the lesson he learned was, men have money, women don't. And as an adult, that played out in his marriage.
Wow.
Or think about a kid who felt deep shame because they couldn't afford a school trip. That shame locks in a belief. Not having money makes me unworthy.
It's heavy stuff. It's almost tempting to just blame our parents for everything and call it a day. Sorry, I'm broke because my dad was cheap.
Right. And Eker is very clear on this. He doesn't let us off the hook. Understanding the origin is key, but blaming keeps you stuck.
It's about awareness, not blame.
The whole point is just to realize, wait, this isn't me. This is a recording playing in my head.
Okay, so we've identified the malware. We know where it came from.
Yeah.
How do we uninstall it? He has a 4-step process for this, right?
He does. And it starts with awareness, which is what we just did. You can't change what you don't notice.
Step 2 is understanding, connecting the dot back to the source.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my dad voice, not mom.
Exactly. Which leads to step 3, disassociation. You separate your identity from the belief. You say, that's not me, that's just data I learned.
And the final step, honestly, this is the one that I think makes people cringe a little. Declaration.
Nini factor.
Yeah, standing in front of a mirror, talking to yourself. It feels like that old Saturday Night Live sketch, you know. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough.
It feels awkward, sure.
Yeah.
But there is legitimate neuroscience here. When you speak aloud, I have a millionaire mind. The vibration resonates in your body. It disrupts old neural pathways.
You're literally overwriting the old verbal programming with new verbal programming.
You are brute forcing the software update. You have to physically engage with it.
Okay, so let's say we do the work. We reset the thermostat. We've cleared the viruses. Now we need to install the new operating system. This is where the book shifts to the wealth files.
This is the meat of the book. 17 specific ways rich people think differently. And again, when he says poor, he means a mindset, not a bank balance.
Right. You can be broke with a rich mindset. So let's hit the big ones. Wealth file number 1, rich people think big, poor people think small.
This sounds like a cliche poster, but he ties it to something very practical. The law of income.
Which states?
You are paid in proportion to the value you deliver to the marketplace. The key word is value.
And value usually correlates to how many people you help.
Bingo. Poor thinking focuses on survival. How do I pay my bills? That usually means serving one person, your boss. Rich thinking focuses on impact.
How can I solve a problem for 10 million people?
That's the paradox, isn't it? We think of rich people as takers, but Eker is saying the only way to get wealthy is to be a massive giver of value.
It's the difference between opening a single lemonade stand and starting a lemonade franchise.
The scale is totally different.
Okay, let's talk wealth file number 2. This one hits home for anyone who watches the news. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles.
This is all about where your eye goes first when chaos hits.
The recession example is the best illustration. When the economy crashes, the poor mindset sees fear, job losses, stock crashes.
Their primary emotion is fear of loss. I could lose everything.
And the rich mindset.
They see a for sale sign on the entire economy. Real estate is cheap, stocks are undervalued, competitors are scared.
They see the exact same event as the buying opportunity of a decade.
And notice, he isn't saying rich people are reckless. He says they take calculated risks, they move toward the opportunity, they don't let the obstacle freeze them.
That paralysis is key. Getting ready to get ready.
Which leads nicely into the emotional side of things. Wealth file 3. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent them.
This is a trap. And it's a deep one. Eat the rich, right? It's a popular sentiment. You see someone in a Lamborghini, and the instinct is to think, what a jerk.
It is. But Eker argues that if you view wealthy people as bad, You build a massive psychological wall between you and success.
Because if you become rich, you become bad. You become the thing you despise. So your subconscious will sabotage you to protect your moral identity.
That's the script, and he suggests a radical shift. Bless that which you want.
So if you see a beautiful home, don't envy it. Bless the home, bless the owner.
Exactly. It trains your brain to see success as something positive and attainable, not something stolen from you.
It's hard to do, though. Jealousy is such a knee-jerk reaction.
It is, but jealousy is a repellent. Admiration is a magnet.
Speaking of magnets, let's talk about who we stick to. Wealth File 4. Rich people associate with positive, successful people.
You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. We've all heard it, but this is about an energy exchange.
Energy vampires versus energy boosters.
Right. If your circle is constantly complaining and blaming, that normalizes stagnation. Rich people protect their environment. They don't network to get ahead. They network to catch the mindset.
It's like playing tennis with someone better than you. It forces you to up your game.
And if you only play with people worse than you, your game degrades.
Okay, moving on to one that I think makes a lot of creative people uncomfortable. Wealth File 5. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value.
Ah, yes. The sleazy salesman block.
We're taught that modesty is a virtue. Don't blow your own horn.
But Eker flips this completely. He asks, do you believe what you have to offer truly helps people?
Well, hopefully, yes.
Then hiding it isn't humility, it's stinginess. If you have a cure for a disease and you don't tell anyone because you don't want to seem arrogant, you're not being humble, you're hurting people.
That's a powerful reframe. Silence is a disservice.
And leaders are promoters. You can't help people if they don't know you exist. He has a great line. Every master was once a disaster.
Meaning sales is just a skill you have to learn.
Exactly. Okay, so that leads us to Wealth File 6. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems.
Most people wish for fewer problems. They want the easy life.
Which doesn't exist. Successful people don't wish for fewer problems. They wish for more skills. Your net worth grows to match your personal development.
I like the visualization here. If you're a level 2 person, a level 5 problem is a mountain. It blocks out the sun. You quit.
But if you grow yourself into a level 8 person, that same level 5 problem is just a speed bump. You just handle it.
A problem didn't shrink. You grew.
So if you feel overwhelmed by a problem, the brutal truth is that you're just being small in that moment.
Which is actually empowering. You can't control the problem, but you can control the size of you.
That's the only thing you can control.
Okay, this brings us to the final file, and I think this is the bridge that connects everything. Wealth File 7. Rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them.
This is the reality check. There's this massive misconception that rich people are fearless.
But they're just as scared as the rest of us.
Absolutely. They have doubts, imposter syndrome, anxieties. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting in spite of it.
The poor mindset waits for the fear to go away. I'll start when I feel ready.
And since fear is a biological survival mechanism, it never goes away. So they never start.
They never feel ready.
Rich people feel the fear and do it anyway. Action is the bridge between the inner world and the outer world. You can say your affirmations until you're blue in the face.
But if you don't buy the ticket, make the call, or launch the product, nothing happens.
Thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, and actions lead to results. The poor mindset breaks the chain at feelings. The rich mindset forces it to continue into action.
So, to bring this all together, it starts with the blueprint. If your thermostat is set to struggle, no amount of hard work will fix it.
You have to become aware of your programming, disassociate from it, and declare a new reality.
And then adopt the wealth files. Think big, admire success, promote your value, grow bigger than your problems.
And finally, you have to act.
Even if you're shaking in your boots.
Especially if you're shaking in your boots. That usually means you're growing.
If the listener takes just one thing away from this deep dive, what should it be?
For me, it has to be the thermostat. It explains so much about why we get stuck. You can work harder, but if you don't reset that internal dial, you're just fighting physics.
Are you set to survival, or are you set to abundance? The room will always match the setting.
Always.
And here's a final thought to chew on this week. The next time you have a choice to make, ask yourself this one question. Am I making this decision out of fear, or am I making it out of opportunity?
That's the difference between playing not to lose and playing to win.
Pay attention to your own verbal programming this week. It's been great diving into this with you.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.